Today we have an honor to present our exhibition, Donbass and Civilians, and our book, Donbass and Civilians, here in European Parliament. This exhibition is about people from Donbass, from the very heart of the Europe, which for some reasons find themselves in the very middle of the war in the beginning of the 21st century. And I represent the biggest foundation from Ukraine and biggest humanitarian mission from Ukraine, which helps for 5 years from the very beginning of the conflict most vulnerable people from the east of Ukraine. And we touch with millions. I mean, it's not the figure, it's a real number. We touch with thousands, hundreds of thousands, with hundreds of thousands, and actually with more than million people during this period with their lives and their stories. And Donbass and Civilians, it's a message. It's a big message for Ukrainian citizens and European Union. And this message is very simple and very direct. War is not a norm, and war is about suffering. Is about suffering the most unprotected, most vulnerable people, and it's always about kids, elderly people, disabled people. So it's always about people who need help, even in real life. But in war, it becomes a real tragedy. This exhibition is about 11 stories, real stories, 11 families, 11 lives, which were hurted by war. But in the same time, this exhibition is also about the hope, which always in place in such situation. Otherwise, it's impossible to survive, to thrive during such terrible period of life. In accordance with the data of Kiev International Sociological Institute, almost 85% of Ukrainian citizens believe that Rinat Akhmetov Foundation is the biggest humanitarian mission, and it helps people to survive during the last 5 years. Almost 67% of people believe that we prevent humanitarian catastrophe. For us, it's a very big honor to be the biggest humanitarian mission. But this honor is unfortunate, so we would prefer not to have a war in our country and not to have such big impact on humanitarian situation as a result. In the same time, we feel that our knowledge about the strategy should be told. And should be written down and should be delivered to people who could influence, who could, who could change the situation. Probably not in Ukraine directly, but generally. This is why, from my point of view, it's a big day for Rinat Akhmetov Foundation.